Hi, beloved. I just did this video on Facebook and I downloaded it so that I could share it here. The quality isn't very great, so if you want to just listen to it, that's awesome, but I hope that you enjoy. Hi, beloved. My name is Tamala Malay. I'm your empowerment partner, psychic, and professor, and my High Council of Light has asked me to come on and do a live message. And so we will see what they have to say. For those of you who don't know me, I am a trance channel, which means that I quiet my mind and allow my High Council to speak through me. But I'm also a lucid channel, which means that I stay present and I channel information at the same time. And I can do both in one session, channel them and translate, if you will. So the message that's coming through today is that we are in a state of, and when I say we, I mean those of us that are on the planet right now, are in a state of being where we are being called to touch, to address, to identify, and to participate with the hard things, the difficult things, the things that we have attempted through our past on the planet not to touch or look at or address or resolve. And so a lot of the things that are happening on the planet right now are happening because it's time, and they're going to continue to happen until we make different choices. And what that means is we have to go into those places that we don't want to go into. We have to go into those spaces of fear, pain, upset, discomfort, triggering, right? And the reason that we go into them is to find the solution. And so what that means is when we're in those deep, dark, heavy places, okay, we are able to connect with the thing that we don't like about it, the thing that we hate about it, the thing that feels disingenuous or unintegrous or inappropriate or unacceptable. And as we go into those places that are unacceptable to us, we're better able to connect to our own soul purpose, because the things that are unacceptable to us are things that we're here to change, things that we're here to move and address, things that we are here to evolve, things that we're here to mature up. And so part of the processes that we're being called to do at this time is to go into those spaces, to be clear, to be real, to be accurate, right? We're not going to hide from this stuff anymore. And that may be journaling. It may mean having conversations. It may be visualizing the experiences, whatever it is that's supported for you in the way that you process information. The processing of the information will get you to the solution. And that solution is going to then require action on your part. There's nothing on the planet that's going to be solved by simply visualizing, simply meditating, simply checking out or ignoring, right? We're in this state on the planet right now because we have not addressed these issues up until now. Like, for instance, race. We could have resolved the race issue back after the Civil War. Could have been done then. We didn't do it. It could have been done in all the various times of racial unrest, and we didn't do it. We could have done it in the 60s when we actually put laws into place to make race equality a real thing, and we didn't do it. And we've had all of these chances to actually do the thing, and we haven't done it. And so right now where we're at is we're at the time where we no longer have the option to not do it. Okay. And this is just one example. because it's kind of like you put a cake in the oven and it says, bake 25 to 35 minutes, right? You start checking it at 25 minutes, right? Okay, yeah, we'll test it in the waters. Okay, we'll see, is it done yet? And then you go and you check it again at 30 and you check it at 35. Well, if you leave it longer than 35 minutes, you're going to burn it, okay? Or it's going to be less desirable. And then the longer you leave it in, the more unpleasant it's going to be. And that's basically where we are. We're in the unpleasant part. We burn it. We have not addressed it up until now, so now it has to be more painful, more uncomfortable, because that's how the law of attraction works. That's how universal law works. That's how choice and consequence and karma works. It keeps coming and circling and circling and circling back to us until we make a different choice. And so all of this unrest that's up right now is going to continue to be up until we solve it. Okay? We don't get to run away and hide from this anymore. We don't get to run away and hide from the transformations that we came on the planet to make. Okay? Remember, every person that's on the planet right now is either for the evolution of the planet or against the evolution of the planet. There's nobody here in between. And so everybody has to choose where they are. Are you for the evolution, towards unity consciousness, toward total equality for all beings, including the planet? Are you for evolving us into a state of perpetual empowerment and supporting others and lifting everyone up together? Or are you opposed to all of that and you're going to do everything in your power to stop that from happening? Okay, that is literally playing out because we are in a state of duality, right? There's the for and against. That's what duality is. And so as we're moving into the fifth dimension, right, into 5D, this word gets talked about a lot. And 5D is really the evolution into unity consciousness, into Christ consciousness, into every being on the planet, and the planet itself is equally valuable. Okay, that's where we're going. And so as we continue to head in that direction, what we do to move ourselves forward is make choices that align with where we are on the spectrum. We're either against it or we're for it. And every day, in every conversation, in every interaction that we have, either in person, on the phone, in communities, on social media, in meetings, whatever, we are asked to choose continuously where we are on our spectrum right now of change, right? If we see someone who is posting information, let's say on social media, that is disrespectful or disempowering other people, and we don't say anything about it, right? We don't, in that comment or as a private message to that person, if we don't say something about it, then what we're choosing is to not, right? We're choosing not to evolve on the planet. If we choose to say something about it, it doesn't mean you have to be hateful or mean or nasty. It's just, look, did you consider this? This is hurtful or upsetting. Have you considered this other option or perspective? Giving different ideas to reframe so that in that reframing, new clarity and understanding can be given so that there can be more openness towards equality for all, including the planet, right? So what we want to be very clear about moving forward is that we are constantly in a state of choice, and we're either choosing for the evolution to unity consciousness, Christ consciousness 5D, or we're choosing against it. And there is no in between. There is no gray area. There is no maybe, right? There's only duality at this point. You're either for or against. And so as you're processing your the things that are coming into your environment through the news or television or music or radio or YouTube or social media, right? Whatever's coming in, you get to evaluate it and say, okay, is this helping me move toward, or is this helping me move away from what I want? Is this keeping me blind and ignorant? Or is this offering me the opportunity to shift my mindset and to open up to new understandings? Is this creating confusion? Or is this giving clarity, right? And what you want to do is you want to continue to be very clear about the choices that you're making, because it's no longer a time on the planet where we're allowed, quote, allowed, to make subconscious choices, because now we're in the time of we've burnt the cake, okay? And so because we burnt the cake, now we've got to deal with it before we burn the house down, okay? And so we're literally at that point right now. Are we going to burn the house down, or are we going to stop it? And so this is not just about race. It's not just about politics. It's not just about healthcare. It's not just about our primary issues, right? It's about every decision that we make, because every decision that we make, the food we eat, the people we talk to, the music we listen to, the TV that we watch, the communications that we have, the money we make, all of that is either moving us towards 5D Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, or away from it. And we have to be really clear about that. So just pay attention to the choices that you're making, the things that you're watching, how you're responding, the things that trigger you, the things that don't trigger you, and really kind of evaluate, okay, is this getting me where I want to be? And where do I want to be? Do I want to be in this unity consciousness, or do I want to stay where I am right now? And you get to decide that. And you get to decide it 1,000 times a day with all these choices that you're making. And if you can make the choice that's most aligned for you most frequently, then you're going to continue down the path that you want to go. But if you're making choices, and choices meaning taking action, doing something, right? A decision is in your mind, a choice is something that you do. So if you're doing something that is not aligned for where it is you want to go, then you're going against, okay? And so you just need to understand that this is being offered for clarity, because ignorance is not allowed anymore. And I'm using the term allowed on purpose, because the veil of unconsciousness is being lifted. So what that means is people, and it's been being lifted over the last period of time. And what that means is people are being more and more aware of things that they were confused about, things they misunderstood, things they didn't know, things they were uneducated about, and they're deciding, do I still want to keep being ignorant and close my eyes, or do I want to learn something new? Okay? And that's for everybody. It doesn't matter where you are on the political, religious, financial, hierarchical spectrum. It doesn't matter. Okay? Everybody's getting that. And so this veil of unconsciousness is being lifted. And as it's being lifted, what is happening is the choices are becoming more mental, which means they actually run through our brain this time instead of just running in the subconscious. So they're becoming conscious. And so because they're becoming conscious, you're being given the choice through this message of clarity that, hey, you really can make a different choice. If this doesn't feel aligned for where you want to be heading in the future, stop doing it. Make a different choice that's going to lead you towards where you want to go. If you want to be honoring all of life, but you're saying Black Lives Matter, that's Black lives don't matter, that all lives matter, then that's incongruent, right? So that's leading you away from where you want to go. If you are saying that you want to love every person as you love yourself, right? And you want to live by that. but you're watching movies where people are murdering each other and hacking each other with axes and terrible things, right? That is not aligned. And so even something as simple as movies and entertainment and music, those also influence what is acceptable for us, because that they're also energy, right? Sound comes into our physical body, it goes in our ears. It becomes true for us. What we watch comes in our eyes, right? It comes into our physical body and it becomes true for us. And so the idea that we can continue to perpetuate situations of incongruency is a farce. We're not in that place anymore. We had that time. We got to play in that ignorance, in that confusion, in that incongruency, in that misalignment. That is not where we're at right now. We've burnt the cake. Okay? So now it's time to start deciding, am I for this or am I against this? And what am I going to do that's going to either lead me toward it or away from it? Okay? So that is today's message. I hope that it blesses you and gives you some clarity. And if you're watching this on a rebroadcast, please make sure that you leave some comments. Let me know what your thoughts are about this topic. And I would encourage you to share, and I look forward to our next message.